My dad told me he didn't want me in his life, and my brother told me I was a mistake. I grew up hearing the same line over and over. You weren't supposed to be born. My parents already had my older brother, Mark, and my sister, Lisa, and they figured that was it. The perfect setup, one boy and one girl. Then mom got pregnant with me by accident. From as far back as I can remember. They made sure I knew I was the unplanned one, the mistake that threw everything off balance. It wasn't just words. Dad would say things like, we were done after 2, while mom nodded along, like I was some extra bill they hadn't budgeted for. I shared a room with Lisa, but it always felt like I was intruding. Mark got all the attention. He was the golden boy, smart in school, captain of the soccer team. They'd brag about him to relatives, but when it came to me, it was silence or criticism. Why can't you be more like your brother? They'd ask. Lisa and I got along okay, as kids, but she was closer to them, always fitting in where I didn't. By the time I hit high school, things got worse. I worked part-time at a diner, after classes to buy my own clothes and stuff, while Mark had everything handed to him. When he went off to college, my parents covered his tuition, dorm, even his car payments. Lisa stayed home, no pressure to leave. But me? At 17, right after graduation, Dad sat me down and said, it's time for you to go. We've done enough. No warning, no help. I packed a bag and crashed on a friend's couch until I could afford crappy apartment. I juggled 2 jobs and community college classes, scraping by on ramen and secondhand everything. It hurt, knowing my siblings had it so easy, but I told myself I'd prove them wrong. Years passed, I built my own life. I met my husband, we had 2 kids, Sarah and Ben, and I worked my way up to a decent job in accounting. Mom got sick around then, cancer that dragged on for months. At her funeral, I showed up, thinking maybe it was a chance to mend things. I hadn't seen Dad or Mark in a few years, but I walked up to them after the service, awkward as hell, and said, hey, maybe we can talk. Start over. Dad just looked at me cold and said, Emily, I don't want you in my life. Never have. Mark piled on, you were a mistake. And those kids of yours? Mistakes too. Stay away. It hit like a punch. I left without another word. Dad died a couple years later from cancer, same as Mom. Mark went quick after that. Alcohol poisoning from what I heard. He'd been drinking heavy for a while. Lisa reached out to me not long after, and we've gotten close since. She admits our parents were unfair, and we talk about the old days without the bitterness. My life's good now, a stable home, kids who are thriving, a job I don't hate. But deep down, that feeling of not belonging never fully went away. For so many years, I hated myself, wondered what I did. Wrong just by existing. Even now, it creeps in sometimes, but I've learned to push it back and keep going.